Hello and welcome to Jiu-Jitsu Red to Blue. I'm Tish Durkin, and this is part 2 of my episode, Tampon Tim and his wacky transgender kidnappings. What, you ask? Are the transgender kidnappings being committed by Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, and Kamala Harris's running mate? Over to you, Donald Trump.
He ordered tampons to be put into boys' bathrooms. Do we have any children here? Please close your ears. He ordered tampons in boys' bathrooms, okay? He signed a law letting the state kidnap children to change their gender.
And just in case you think that was just Donald being Donald, here's his running mate, J.D. Vance, being given an opportunity to clarify or walk back those remarks by Jonathan Karl of ABC News.
Tim Walz has supported taking children from their parents if the parents don't consent to gender reassignment. That is crazy. And by the way, Tim Walz gets on his high horse about mind your own damn business. One way of minding your own damn business, John, is to not try to take my children away from me if I have different moral views than you. He has not signed a law allowing the state to kidnap children to change their sexual identity. What I just explained to you, I would describe as kidnapping, John. He has absolutely done this stuff. It's not crazy, John. Come on. It's not what you should not be able to take people's children away from them.
And that's not what he's proposed.
If you disagree with decisions about gender reassignment, yes, he has proposed that, John. He absolutely has.
No, he absolutely hasn't proposed or enacted any such thing. These guys are making it sound as if the state of Minnesota will break into the homes of people whose children want gender-affirming care against the wishes of their parents, and the state is going to supersede the parents and side with the children. This is absolutely not the case. What they are mangling here is something that has come to be known as the trans refuge law, which Governor Walz did sign in 2023, largely in reaction to the very extreme anti-parent, anti-trans laws that have been enacted in more than 20 states around the country, and certainly in some of the states immediately surrounding Minnesota. And basically, although I'm neither an expert on transgender issues nor a lawyer of any kind, so I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but what they're reacting against, what the Minnesota law reacts against is the fact that in some other states, the state does equate seeking gender-affirming care for your minor children with a form of abuse, and it can become an issue in child custody cases, and so on and so forth. And so the state of Minnesota says that if you come from, South Dakota or Alabama or someplace else, and you seek gender-affirming care for your child, the state of Minnesota will not allow your home state to punish you for doing something in Minnesota that is legal in Minnesota. Now, there are some custody issues that can arise, but those are issues between parents or guardians, legal guardians, who differ on what the way forward is with regard to the child's gender-affirming journey. And no doubt that is a very fraught, very painful, difficult situation. But of course, it's a situation that is known to many other types of parents facing many other types of crises. There are situations where one parent thinks the child should keep up with the chemo or try some kind of experimental treatment as the last best hope, and the other parent feels strongly that that's either an affront to God or an act of cruelty toward a child who doesn't have any more hope. There are parents who may feel very differently about vaccination. There are parents who may not feel that a certain elective surgical procedure of a completely different kind is warranted. And there are ways in which that gets to be settled or adjudicated. Very rarely does the state just sort of make a blanket law deciding ahead of time which parent is right. And that is what has occurred in a number of states outside of Minnesota. And Minnesota was reacting to that. And it also was overtly protecting healthcare practitioners who offer these services, which, by the way, cannot be given to children under the age of 18 without the consent of their parent. So that is actually what happened. Now, you may have an opinion about that. You may not like that Governor Walz supported that. You may think that, all gender affirming care is terrible, especially for minors. That's fine. But, well, I don't think it's fine, but that's your prerogative. But do not allow these guys to get away with accusing Governor Walz of, kidnapping children. That's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that they would make such an allegation should cast into doubt everything else they say about this issue. And the one thing I want to leave you with, which just strikes me as so ironic, is at the tail end of that same interview with John Carl. Listen, what JD's trying to smooth over what Trump said, and then he kind of upbraids John Carl for harping on this.
Here's the more important thing, John. Why are we talking about inflation? Why are we talking about the fact that groceries are unaffordable thanks to Kamala Harris's policies, and so is housing? We've talked a little bit about the border. Why are we talking about the fact that the entire world is on fire?
Yeah, it's such a shame that we're not talking about real issues that really bother most Americans. I wonder, it's almost as if MAGA and its right-wing media minions decided to manufacture this whole entire hysteria, hanging everyone's paranoia on the small, embattled minority that is transgender children. It's just too bad we don't stick to education and inflation. Tune in for more of Jiu-Jitsu Red to Blue. New episodes drop whenever I can get around to making them. And also, please subscribe to my new YouTube channel. It, like Kamala Harris's Vision for America, is free.